What's up, guys? Welcome to the Thursday stream. We're going to be reviewing some TA. We have some interesting charts to look at today, especially at Bitcoin. I'm going to pull it up right away. So first, I want to address the 4-hour time frame before heading into that bullish divergence that my video's caption is referring to. I'll wait a couple seconds to get a video and audio check. I think we're all set. Okay. So as we discussed on Tuesday, Bitcoin on the 4-hour was creating a head and shoulders reversion or reversal pattern where we have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder and the neckline. And we actually closed the stream right here on this area on the neckline. And after that stream, price broke down and it actually went to the target, to the measured move of the head and shoulders. So we can see for a measured move on the head and shoulders, you measure down from the head and then you take that measurement from the breakdown to your target. As you can see, the target was reached and actually it began its reversion and bullish momentum to the upside after finishing the head and shoulders measure move target. I think audio and video is all right. I think I'm getting like a blank screen, something. Is that an issue? Can someone confirm that you're able to look at the screen right now? I think you should get the feed in a few seconds. Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna try sharing my screen again. All right, there we go. So that was the 4-hour setup that we were talking about. And we're gonna move right into the divergence that we're looking that's really interesting right now that could propel Bitcoin into way higher prices. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. Not sure if you can see actually the screen. Well, I think you can. Okay. So Bitcoin on the 12-hour, we've been discussing this bullish divergence that we had here and the terrible performance that it had on this high that couldn't rival the April 22nd and 23rd highs here. So it was basically an underperformance of a great bullish divergence on the MACD histogram on the 12-hour time frame. You always want to look for bullish divergences or any kind of divergence on a significant time scale, hopefully above 12 hours, a daily or a weekly candle time frame. So 12 hours was significant, was important. So we had this bullish divergence. We were waiting and expecting it to play out to the upside and hopefully break these highs, make a higher high, and it didn't. And then at the same time, it started building hidden bearish divergence, which is a continuation divergence, which we had a higher high on the histogram and we had a lower high on the price. So that was really bad, which could imply that a bearish momentum would keep the price going down, and we'll probably see new lows on the BTC chart. But on this fresh new 12-hour candle, and that's why I'm saying the biggest bullish divergence of the year is since December at least, we haven't had such of a good setup or bullish divergence on Bitcoin, because we're printing a strong green momentum candle on BTC. That's really good, because I mean, obviously you can then roll over and then start printing the negative momentum histogram bars, but what I'm seeing right now, it's a reaction out of possibly support around 61K, and start printing again green momentum bars on the MACD histogram, confirming that this bullish divergence is real and it still has a lot of time and room to play out, and at the same time not giving any relevance or significance to this hidden bearish divergence on the MACD. So that's really good. That's what we've been discussing, because we had a doom scenario on the divergences, and right now everything is starting to look fantastic again, which could pull prices way higher, hopefully to test, after we break 65K, to test 69K, both of them which are important and inflection points from the past, one being the first all-time high from April 2021, the second one being the second all-time high from November 2021. On the daily, we don't have that much of an edge yet. We just had this funny looking inverse head and shoulders on the MACD histogram. You can basically do charting here. It's not going to be as reliable as when you do patterns on the price, but you have an inverse head and shoulders here, and as soon as the positive momentum started drying out, we have a brand new positive momentum bar on the MACD printing, which is really interesting, which could possibly, as we've been saying, get us to higher prices, and after we break 65 and 69K, possibly go into price discovery. And right now on the daily, we're working on a bullish engulfing candle. It needs 2.5 hours yet in order to be closed, and we will be seeing the highest daily candle close since May 6th. And again, fantastic price action here when everything was looking really bad. We start invalidating this bearish engulfing candle from May 6th, which engulfed May 5th. If we had an engulfing candle, we closed like this above. If we're able to close the daily above $6,200, $353, then we will have this bullish engulfing candle, confirming the bullish divergence on the 12-hour, which I think is awesome. As we have been saying in the past streams, we're not here to predict prices because no one knows. We're just looking at data and observing and trying to make conclusions and take bets relying on probabilities and trying to maximize our outcome based on those patterns and divergences and critical zone areas, all of it relying to TA. Continuing with the bullish hopium, I'm going to go through USDTD, where we will be putting this bearish engulfing candle, or basically highest candle close since May 6th also, and maybe start developing a head and shoulders pattern here, because we have this left shoulder. Possibly this is the head, I would take this as a whole structure given the length of the left shoulder, and maybe do something like this. Put on the head and then print the right shoulder right there. So this could be a potential reversion or reversal pattern, or we could just nuke right away and give a like a double top instead of head and shoulders. But it looks that way that we're gonna go test this neckline here, and then we'll see what we get. We're gonna leave the neckline on the shoulder there. And also I saw something interesting here on the RSI. Here you can look that we already have a potential head and shoulders pattern at play here. This would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the right shoulder. If we break down the technical measure move on the RSI, basically give us around 36 points, which is below 40 points and within the bearish control area of the RSI. That's really nice. And also on the, I think on the 3-day, yeah, 3-day is looking good. Potential tweezer top here. Oh, here. We'll still have 2 more days to go, so we have a lot of time. But maybe we get a possible tweezer top here, confirming that this will be a local top on the USDT downtrend that we had and leaving this resistance behind us. I'm gonna go ahead and check out Bitcoin dominance. Not too much movement on the daily. Highest candle close since May 6th. And there was an interesting divergence here. Yeah, on the 3-day. Oh no, I'm sorry, I was looking at the daily before. So daily before would be the highest candle close since May 7. And on the 3-day, that's what I was looking before the stream. We have an interesting development here. We had a bearish divergence on the MACD histogram since we have a higher high on price and a lower high on the positive momentum of the histogram. So this could develop into lower percentage or prices of the Bitcoin dominance, which could be really beneficial for altcoins since this uptrend has lasted a lot of time. I think almost a year and a half, since basically December, November 2022. It's been grinding upwards. So it's nice to see a buyer's exhaustion near a critical level, which is the 57%, 56%, which we almost reached on that squeeze higher that we had when all the altcoins crashed. So an interesting find on the Bitcoin dominance. Again, we'll have to wait for the daily close and the 12-hour close in about 2 hours and 24 minutes in order for us to confirm that bullish 12-hour divergence. But it's starting to look pretty nice. And I guess you can also draw something here if you want to. Left shoulder, the head. I have to redraw it. So left shoulder there, the head, on the right shoulder here. With a potential inverse head and shoulder bottoming pattern. I think it's valid. I think it has some development yet to do. Go and test the neckline in order to start maybe thinking about it. But if we're taking a wild guess of what this could be developing on the bullish side of things, is as we said before, we're on a downtrend on the low time frame and the 12-hour and the daily time frame. We just had lower lows and lower highs. So we're looking for that bullish continuation after this crazy run-up that we had after the ETF approval. So that's something to keep an eye on. Okay, so Bitcoin against the SPX. I redraw the bullish pennant, failed breakdown because just decided not to play out. And I think we are in a down sloping consolidation still, which is bullish. Most of down sloping channels tend to break to the upside, so I expect that to happen. I don't know when, because this could go down for a long time. But if we had all of that bullish divergences play out against the dollar, maybe we can see this breakout on the SPX chart as well. So we discussed Bitcoin, we discussed Bitcoin dominance, USDT, Bitcoin against the SPX. I want to give a shout out to all of the inner circle friends who tune into the streams. Also my RB friends who've been supporting me the past couple of days. I bought a new camera for my computer, so I'm gonna be able to start streaming on full HD because I've been just streaming on 720p, which is pretty lame. But from tomorrow onwards, I think I'll have the full HD stream, and moving on, also I'll buy a microphone so you can hear me better and you can understand my waffling through my accent. So yeah, I'm stoked to start my YouTube journey as a streamer and as a TA guy. You can expect a lot more of me. Hopefully my audience will continue to grow and we'll have more people watching the streams and contributing with good comments and things to look at. All right, so let's keep moving. I've read people saying that Solana is a risk-on index for this market. So we're gonna go through Solana. Solana working on its highest daily candle close since May 6th. If you look to the right, we're in the middle of two inflection points, one at $143 and the other one at $205, which was confirmed as resistance again. Here, this was a sort of a complacency shoulder before the bull market complacency shoulder, which happened here, but this one was basically the triple top that we drew in Solana in 2021. And we're currently within a channel, I would say, of price action. This could be deemed as a huge deviation to the upside, and now we're back again at the side of the channel, and we're actually finding support at the mid-range, working on a bullish engulfing candle and above $143. So it's looking quite good for Sol. And also, Solana had this bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. If you measure it from candle close to candle close here, because if you measure it from the weeks, you don't have it, I think. No, but if you take candle closes, this would be a bullish divergence in the MACD here. And the same as with Bitcoin, we thought it would have that it had a mediocre performance, not being able to breach these highs from April 22nd, but now it's building up again the bullish momentum on the MACD. So it continue to develop bullish momentum and actually play out into higher prices and go rival $205 again after we break out of this downsloping channel. So those are my thoughts of Solana against the dollar. We're gonna take a look at it against BTC too, because we have some interesting findings there as well. So against Bitcoin, we're having an uptrend, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're actually trying to close above this inflection point from the past, around 24,000 satoshis, and working on a bullish engulfing candle, which is really good for Sol prices. And actually, if you don't take into consideration this wick and you just consider candle closes, you have an inverse head and shoulders pattern here, possibly at play, being currently in the right shoulder and having the neckline around here. So I was saying this about Bitcoin before. You can have three types of head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders. You can have the flat ones or the most traditional ones. I think those are pretty reliable and possibly the one that are easier to identify. And yeah, those are the classic ones. Then you can have upsloping or downsloping head and shoulders patterns. If it's an inverse head and shoulders pattern, you want the pattern to be upsloping in order to have a higher hit rate rather than a downsloping inverse head and shoulders. The Bitcoin price was actually showing a possible downsloping head and shoulders pattern, where you have something like this, right? So that kind of pattern doesn't have much of a good hit rate if you compare it to an upsloping inverse head and shoulders. If you have something like that, it's better. And it works the same if it's on a traditional head and shoulders, like a top, if you look at it like that. The downsloping ones on the traditional head and shoulders pattern tend to have a higher hit rate than the other ones. So here in Solana, we will have an upsloping possible head and shoulders pattern here. This one being the head, this whole structure here. So looking good for risk crypto. If you turn on the weekly here, you can see that Solana may be on its way to higher prices. Okay, let's go back to the daily. Look at some other altcoins. When I go see big performing altcoins, Render just chatting up, basically on price discovery. I would say the level here to close above could be maybe this one, $12. It's also a psychological important number. Or maybe $11 as well. Basically, this complacency shoulder here at the top, where you have like a head and shoulder stop. You have the right shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So I will be looking at Render to maybe get some resistance above this whole area, but it just looks phenomenal. And it's not the USD chart that I found an edge, but it could be like Bitcoin here that I found in a structure. This is an expanding, ascending, or channel, or a broadening wedge, some people call it. Broadening wedges tend to represent a bullish asset that may have a bearish bias. It's what the psychology would represent on this asset. And we had a deviation to the upside here, small deviation here, down here to the downside. And you can maybe look at the trade setup here. If, for example, we come up here, put in a high, then you could expect this trend line to form as a demand line in order to break out into price discovery again. So Render BTC looking strong. Again, this may be pushed because Nvidia's gonna have earnings soon. So the whole AI meta has been pumping, and Render has been the highest performing ticker so far. So kudos to Render, up 10% on daily, working on a bullish engulfing candle, and working on its highest candle close since March 29. So that's quite impressive. Bullish, positive momentum building on MACD histogram, and just a huge candle to the upside. So if market continues to rip, you can expect Render to keep outperforming most of the altcoin sector. Another good one has been Pepe. We had an embarrassed head and shoulders here, the left shoulder, right, the head, and the right shoulder, and we actually back tested at support, and now we're springing. We're pumping from this back test as support, which was previously resistance. It confirmed as resistance here once and twice, broke out above it, and now just making possibly another higher low. So you just know Pepe's gonna rip. If Bitcoin's gonna do its thing, you know Pepe's gonna catch a bit. It's been really good price action. If you compare it, for example, to WIF, which has been a little bit lagging last few days, some people were calling for $1 target here to buy. I just see higher highs and higher lows, man. Not gonna overcomplicate it. Just you have this upsloping channel, small deviation here, but just working on a bullish engulfing candle and working on its highest candle close since May 6th. Just looks really good. Doesn't look as good as Pepe, but I think the hat stays on. The same here. Just higher highs and higher lows. We're on a bullish engulfing candle also against BTC. Positive momentum still coming down. We'll need another good candle in order for it to print a positive momentum bar on the histogram. But looks good in my opinion. TIA has been just lagging. Gonna delete this Fibonacci retracement, but you can see the levels there. We're currently at support around 9.4 bucks, which was this inflection point from January 3rd. And it's been back tested before support on March 29, on March 19. Sorry about that. And then finally, when the support gave out, we just broke down all the way down to $7. So right now, it could be back testing it as support again, not once, just twice. So that's some hopium for the TIA holders, the TIA investors. And if we go from low to high on Fibonacci retracement, you can see it coincides with the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So this could be a good area to have some reaction to the upside. Working on a bullish engulfing candle and the highest candle close since May 6th, also since Monday. And I don't have much of a niche here, so I wouldn't take a position. But if you wanted to take a gamble, you wanted to go to a slot machine, what you could do is the following. Set a stop loss around possibly here, just right before the other low, because it could continue going down and just have more sellers exhaustion. And you have to go here in order for it to make sense, or maybe this complacency shoulder here on a 4.36 risk to reward ratio. It's what you could do on TIA, but I think there are better coins out there. For example, Sui has been just a really bad performer the past basically 2 months, or like a full month and a half, I would say, since March 26th. It had like Sui was pumping when basically no other L1 layer 1 coin was pumping, because TIA was done, SEI was done. Well, Ethereum probably pumped a little bit, but Solana wasn't pumping as much, and it was just basically Sui running and maybe Aptos, which is sort of like Sui beta maybe. Both coins come from Facebook developers, ex-developers, or Meta developers, if you like. So I wouldn't touch this until we have some edge. Negative momentum building on the histogram. pretty weak. But it could be working on a dragonfly doji, I think it's called, which is the inverse of depends on how big the body is of the candle close. But yeah, because I spoke with Edward, which has been a viewer of my streams, which I appreciate, and asked him what else could we look at, and he said some good performing and bad performing assets. And I think Sui has been really just performing badly the past couple weeks, at least. With pumping more, 10% of the day, so making a good recovery. Probably a lot of people saw here. They saw this, got scared, and just dumped their position. Pepe the same. So ENA working on its highest daily candle close since probably since Tuesday, since May 7, where it had this bearish engulfing candle the following day yesterday, and now it's not being confirmed because you would need a lower price candle close from the engulfing in order to confirm the engulf. So it could have some momentum to it building on. I think this price action was due to Bybit listing, but it basically just retraced the whole pump, so it's gonna need some time. We need to see some bullish structure developing because from right now we just have lower highs and lower lows. Lower high here, lower high, lower low, lower low, and lower low. So we need to flip and market structure the downtrend into a bull trend on ENA. Just utility coins hasn't been getting that much of a bit this year, basically the whole year. All right, gonna look at some more coins and then some. Whoops, sorry about that. Wi-Fi router just decided to nuke out of my desk. Okay, we're gonna look at some good performing coins for the daily here. GMX. See if we have some kind of divergence on the RSI. Yeah, looks good. Has some bullish convergence, but looks like it might be painting a bottom. Looking left in the middle of nowhere. What a bad performing coin. It's just been performing good on the daily, but it's just been awful. If you held GMX from, I don't know, for example, September 2023, you're sitting at around a 15% loss. And if you, for example, if you bought Solana instead of GMX, you would be up immensely. So that's a good performing coin for the day. We're gonna look at some other bad performing coins. We can look at Arbitrum. It's just been relentlessly dumped on. Kind of looks like a SUI chart here. Instead of SUI, it's been performing better. But what happens if we chart Arbitrum against SUI? Probably SUI wins, but yeah. So this is Arbitrum against SUI. It's been downtrending heavily, but maybe now it's starting to reverse here, because we basically putting on a higher high here against this one at least. So let's see. So that would be resistance. So if we're able to